Kia ora and welcome back. I'm once again in the Ruahines and once again heading up the Waipawa River, just like my last trip, so I haven't filmed much on the way in. I've just arrived at the track junction that just heads up the little hill to Waipawa Forks Hut, but I won't head up there. I'm just going to carry on. On this tramp I'm crossing the Ruahines over the next 3 days. So today heading to Waterfall Hut. There's a big old boulder. You can see Te Atueo Parapara up there. Navigating the Waipawa River isn't too bad. After a few years back now, Cyclone Gabrielle of course came through and the floods just widened the riverbanks greatly across the Ruahines. There's a rib bone. I'm feeling the uphill now. There's quite a lot of erosion in the Ruahines. There's all these big slips you can see coming down and all these big jagged bluffs and rocks up this way. Geologically the Ruahines are quite young. About 2 million years ago they started their uplift, but all the rocks that make up them are all old ocean sediments. The Ruahines are growing quite quickly, and so they are eroding quite quickly, and there's a lot of weathering, and so you get all these slips come down. Here you can see some of the metamorphism that has bent and folded all the rock layers. Found some little native caterpillars. I cannot remember what these are. There you go. Right, back onto an actual marked track. Oh, it's a bit breezy. Right, this is Waipawa Saddle. So I've just climbed up here. On my last big tramp I went up along that range, but this time we're going down there. There we go. That's Waikamaka Hut. Here we are. This is a beautiful hut. Let's have a little look around Waikamaka Hut. It is owned by the Heretaunga Tramping Club, so it's not a dock hut. So it is a shed platform. Looks like 9 mattresses. There you go, nice big bench space. And of course a wood burner, a couple pots and pans. Here's some stuff about the hut. This is the iconic Waikamaka toilet. It's a big cone on the roof. Leaving Waikamaka Hut now. I've had some food and I'm about to get going up to Rangi Saddle. But before I do, I'm just going to go across the river and check out the old Waikamaka Biv. Here we are. This is the old Waikamaka Biv. A couple years back a tree fell down on it and has crushed it, as you can see. But even before then it was still quite old and worn and torn. Look in here. I don't imagine you'd have a pleasant night's sleep in this. Right, let's get going. There's a lot of spear grass around, which is this. Out of the bush now. We'll just come up the stream that way and on the pole route now. That's the saddle right there. Whew. The track up to Rangi Saddle has been cut recently, so it is very nice on the walk up. Don't have to deal with any leatherwood or spear grass. The upper valley here is beautiful, and Waipawa Saddle is just around there. Te Atueo is on the other side of that big hill, and I think if you go that way over there you get to Rangiwahia, one of the 1700 meter peaks, and yeah, I'm only about, I don't know, 50 meters below the saddle. Yeah, the track is real nice now that it's cut. I read a lot of trip reports and they all said Rangi Saddle was quite hard going because of all the spear grass and leatherwood. And there we go, Rangi Saddle. Climbed up from down there. That's Waipawa Saddle. Right, about to get back on the road. This is the unofficially named Hawke's Bay Ridge. Pinnacle Creek is right in the middle. That's what we're going to go up tomorrow. And Rangawahia is just over there. That's the highest point of the ranges. And of course, I think that's Iron Peg. And there's this ridge here that comes down. Waterfall Hut's on the other side of that. That breeze has picked up again. Right, we're down at Rangi Creek. Let's have a look here. Waikamaka Hut, 2 hours 30 minutes. I've done that in just shy of 1.5 hours, which is pretty good. I'm stoked about that. How pretty is this? In the Ruahines especially, there is risk of catching giardia. The deer have it and it ends up in the streams, and so if you're drinking water from the streams in the Ruahines, and a lot of other places too, but it's safer to boil it. I've had a couple little sips as I go, but I spit out half the water anyway, so. Right, linking up with the Kawhatau River. This is really pretty. There's all these big, nice, open river banks. Reminds me a lot of the Waipawa River in the Kaimanawas. Ooh. Chilly, but refreshing. It's only about 500 meters to Waterfall Hut. Look at this, beautiful water. Haven't seen any trout, but I reckon perhaps downstream there'd be some good fishing. I spot something orange. That is a beautiful hut. Nice. Open fire. It's very warm in here. And 6 bunks. Lovely warm day. Should hopefully be able to dry out these socks. Waterfall Hut. It's about 3 now. I got here about an hour ago, so almost 5.5 hours of walking today, with about 40 minutes of breaks. 6 bunks, all with mattresses. I've taken this one. Got some water on the boil. I've had some food. I'm just going to make some more quickly. Nice open fire. I've got the window open because it was very warm in here. And as per usual, stuff's just kind of ended up in random places, but I am the only one here. Looks like a nice swimming pool right here. And this is Pinnacle Creek. So that's what I'm going to go up tomorrow morning. Oh, I reckon it's going to be cold. Woohoo! Oh my goodness gracious. That's cold. Woo. You feel a lot better after it though. Whew. That was chilly, but refreshing, and I feel a lot better now that all the sweat's washed off. Well, there's still some sunlight left. I'm going to go make up some dinner and head back down to the river and eat that. Right, I've had dinner and brushed my teeth. I'm just going to go fill up with some water and get that on the boil just so I have some cold water in the morning. And yeah, slowly get ready for bed. I'm gonna pop off to bed shortly. Sun is well and truly vanished over the range. Still a decent amount of natural light around, but I'm gonna get an early night. I was just reading through some of the old entries in the first ever hut book that was brought to Waterfall Hut. Someone's gone and photocopied it all and put it into this clear book. So that's quite cool. Goes back to when the hut was first built in 1961. Here is a photocopied version of the very first hut book at Waterfall Hut that goes back to 1961 when the hut first opened, which is pretty cool to see. Right, about to leave Waterfall Hut. It's almost 7:50. Today is going to be a relatively shorter day in comparison to yesterday. We've got the big climb up Pinnacle Creek and then the long descent to Pourangaki Hut. We've actually got some sunlight now. Almost at the top. I can see the little sign that points down Pinnacle Creek. I'm on a little ground trail just above the stream, just because there was a little waterfall that you couldn't get around, but there is a decent ground trail right here, and yeah, probably, I don't know, another 50-60 meters of elevation to go to the top. Here we are, the head of Pinnacle Creek. What a climb. See, Rangi Saddle. Came over that yesterday. There's a speck of orange in the middle down there. That's Waterfall Hut. And yeah, of course, Rangiwahia Hut and A6G4, some of the 1700 meter peaks, and yeah, we'll carry on the bridge that way. And over here is the Pourangaki River. I started at the base of Pinnacle Creek at about 7:52, I think it was, and it's now a couple minutes past 9, so an hour 10 minutes to climb Pinnacle Creek, which is better than the dock time for descending. If you go up the ridge to the north, that's how you get to Iron Peg. I went that way on my second ever solo tramp, but you do sidle around and there is a little slip there you got to cross. But yeah, what a spectacular view into the Ruahines. It is 9:40 now, so I've been here for half an hour. Just taking a break. I'm not in any rush, of course, to get to Pourangaki Hut. I probably could have shortened this trip by a day and done one day into Waterfall Hut and another day out to the Rangawahia road end. But better 3 days of tramping than 2. So just got the short day today. We're now up above 1,600 meters. You can see the clouds are coming over Iron Peg that way. Awesome views into the ranges. You can see Sawtooth Ridge off in the distance. And yeah, higher than the entire Tararua range right now. And yeah, about to begin the descent down to Pourangaki Hut down the ridge here. Big old slips on the this side of the track down to Pourangaki, but the track is quite well formed over the top of them. Now we're back into the subalpine bush and into the mountain beech. It's probably one of my favorite native trees. This is a cool tree. Looks like it's swirled around and spiraled up. It's good to see the river. Here we are at the bridge. Started to rain. That rain is quite refreshing, so I can't complain. There we go. Pourangaki Hut. It has been almost 2 years since I was last here. Looks quite clean on the inside. Looks like I'm going to be spending the rest of my afternoon inside. Right, this is inside, a nice little bench. Got books in there, some various magazines, pots and pans of course, and your wood burner. I'm going to get that going and hopefully I can dry out some stuff while it's raining outside. Table and yeah, double platform. I brought my own mattress because if I remember, some of the mattresses here are bit mouldy, so that one looks quite good. That one looks okay too, but I have brought my own mattress for that as well. This is where I'll be sleeping tonight. Right, I'm all settled in. Gonna get some food going shortly, and yeah, we'll set up. Raincoat, of course, when I go outside, and yeah, it's real cozy. Got some clothes up to dry and air out, and I'll get the fire going. I've had some hunters show up at the hut, which is cool. I've met them before. They're in the Kamanawas, so I've got some company tonight. It has stopped raining, and I'm going to head down and go check out the river. Back at the hut now. We'll get some dinner going. Being a little bit boring on the food front and just had freeze-dry meals for this tramp, but the real meals are good. As you can see, I've got the other two hunters for company tonight, and they've just gone for a hunt up the river, so fingers crossed for them, they get some venison. So the hut does have a water tank, which is quite nice because so you don't have to head down the steep track down to the river. Just in around behind the hut, you have a meat safe just up in here. There is also whatever this is. Looks like a lid. There's nothing but dead bugs in there. And then right around the back you have the toilet. Of course you've got what is no doubt a deer skeleton. There you go. Just started setting up stuff for a fire, although it's quite a small wood burner, so I'm going to chop up some of these. Always find it quite hard to tell which of these is open and closed. I usually left as closed, but I'm not really sure if that counts for every hut, so you can kind of find out by listening to how much the fire roars when you move the slider across, and you'll hear it pick up, and it's a lot louder when it's open and all the oxygen's getting in, and then when you close it you can hear it kind of dampen out. Now I'm getting off.
Ready.
Oh, good. See ya. Safe travels. The cloud looks like it's sitting at about 900 meters or so, so we'll be spending a lot of time in cloud today, and it looks like it's going to be windy over the tops, but the rain has stopped, so hopefully it holds off. It's about 8:30, which is rather late start, later than I would have liked, and yeah, left the two hunters back at the hut. They didn't get any deer last night, sadly. Might have jinxed them. We're up into the cloud now. This here is our bush lawyer, and it's a pain in the New Zealand bush. It's got all these little hooks on it, and it just catches you as you brush past it. Started to rain again. Up above the tree line, kind of. Just doing all the subalpine bush and shrub. I might put my raincoat on soon, though I'm not too bothered right now as the rain's quite light. Track here is a bit rough, as I remember it. There's a little pole hiding up there, but otherwise it kind of stuck trying to find a rough ground trail to get up. I've actually lost the ground trail, so I think I'm on a game track right now, just trying to find the pole again. Found the poles. Here's one of our native snails. Quite the environment for it to be in. Right, here we are. I've climbed up out of the Pourangaki up this way, and yeah, we're up on the tops now, and we're heading to Maungamahue. See if we can beat the 30-minute time. Weather's not too great. Visibility is, I'd put it at maybe 80 meters or so. You can kind of see that ridge over there. Boots are soaked. I managed to dry them last night next to the fire, but all this long wet tussock on the climb up has drenched my feet. But yeah, most of the climb is done now, and we've just got a gradual 100 or so meters of climb to Maungamahue, which will be the highest point of this trip at 1,661 meters. So yeah, up at Mangamahue, this is the highest point of this tramp. I've just dropped behind this little grass bank to get out of the wind because it is wild. Going and lay it up now. It was super windy coming off Mangamahue, and I was in such a rush to get out the wind I went down the wrong spur. So this over here is the ridge I meant to be on. I don't want to climb back up, so I'm just sidling around below the peak, out of the wind. Got a little bit of blue sky. I've begun to sidle around to the track. The high point's just up there, but the wind was picking up and I was getting a bit tired of the climb, so I've opted for a higher sidle as opposed to when I last did this, where I went quite low and I got caught in a lot of leather wood and dense scrub. It is good to be at Rangawahia Hut. And yeah, trip's almost done. I'm gonna wait here for a little bit and have some hot soup because I'm hungry. Oh, that sunlight is so nice. And there's that blue sky again. Because of course I've been dropped off on one side and I'm crossing the Ruahines, I'm waiting to get picked up. So that's kind of confined me here until I can head back down to the car park and get picked up. Right, heading away from Rangawahia Hut now. It's so nice that the sky is cleared up. That sun is just so nice after not having it all day. What a mish this has been. Now I'm just arriving at the car park now, so I have crossed the Ruahines from the Sunrise Hut car park to the Rangawahia Hut car park. What a 3 days it has been. Had some great weather on the first day. I wish it had stuck around. Waterfall Hut is amazing. Definitely worth checking out, and the Kawhatau River that it sits on is just such a beautiful place. So many great swimming holes in there. Pourangaki Hut. It's one of my favourite huts in the Ruahines. I've stayed there twice now, and the only downside is the mouldy mattresses, of course, but other than that, yeah. And of course, Rangawahia Hut up top is spectacular. I think the total distance of walking is 40 something k's. It's not too bad, but the total climb is somewhere pushing 3,000 meters or more. My legs are definitely feeling it.